say hearing Bob Marley's music on the big screen sounds incredible on the big screen, and honestly, it made me smile at least. I love listening to Bob Marley's music, and hearing it on the big screen, it is a real freaking treat. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is RCD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brinkat, and today I'm going to review the latest music biopic film, Bob Marley, One Love. This movie is directed by Reinaldo Marcus Green, who directed King Richard, and this movie stars Kingsley, Ben-Adir, and Lashana Lynch. Jamaican singer-songwriter Bob Marley overcomes adversity to become the most famous reggae musician in the world. Now, Bob Marley, of course, he is a legend. He is an icon, and my family and I grew up with his songs. I love his songs. He does really great music. He creates peace with music extremely well, so rest in peace to the legend Bob Marley. He is an icon. He's definitely a music icon. So when I heard they're making a music biopic about him, of course I was interested in it. Reinaldo Marcus Green is directing this film. He directed King Richard, which I really do like. I think King Richard is definitely one of the better biopics that I've seen in a long time, and it's one of the best performances by Will Smith. So honestly, with the trailer, I'm like, you know what? This movie looks good. I can't wait to see the story of Bob Marley coming to the big screen. And I do like Kingsley Ben-Adir. I think he's a very good actor. And him playing Bob Marley, you know what? I think he'll be good in the film, even though he doesn't really have the looks for Bob Marley. I was interested to see how his performance goes. But when it comes to music biopics, it's pretty mixed. There are some good ones, and there are some disappointing ones. So, where does Bob Marley One Love go to? I gotta say, guys, to be completely honest with you, I would say Bob Marley One Love goes into the disappointing stage. Now, do I hate Bob Marley One Love? Absolutely not. It's not even a bad movie or anything. I just find this movie just okay. To be honest, I honestly want this movie to be much better. But let's get into the positives first, because there are some things to like about Bob Marley One Love. First of all, the performances. Kingsley Ben-Adir is really good in this movie as Bob Marley. Yes, like I said, he doesn't have the look for Bob Marley, but he performs Bob Marley very, very well with his dramatic standpoints and just his overall material. I think Kingsley Ben-Adir looks like he understands Bob Marley, and he performs his icon very, very well. He's good in the movie, but I gotta say, he's not the standout in my personal opinion. I would say the thing that saved this film overall is Lashana Lynch as Bob Marley's wife. She is phenomenal in this movie. This is definitely one of her better performances that I've seen. I think Lashana Lynch is a great actress. I loved her in The Woman King. So, when it comes to this movie, with her dramatic standpoints, there's one really good scene with her and Bob Marley, this conflict scene they have together. It shows that Lashana Lynch really did save this movie for me with one of the biggest positives of the film. She is phenomenal in this film, and this is definitely the best performance out of everyone in this film. I would say hearing Bob Marley's music on the big screen sounds incredible on the big screen, and honestly, it made me smile at least. I love listening to Bob Marley's music, and hearing it on the big screen, it is a real freaking treat. And I would say the movie looks good. Reinaldo Marcus Green directed this movie very, very well. I love the way this movie looks. And the overall story, you know, if you have not heard about Bob Marley and stuff, I wouldn't say this movie explains everything, but with the important information, yes it does. This movie explains some important information about Bob Marley's career. This movie is more of like the aftermath of Bob Marley, you know, not when he got discovered. It's basically, he's already famous. It's all about his aftermath and his tour and just drama things that happened to him. But guys, unfortunately, one of my biggest issues with Bob Marley One Love is absolutely the pacing and the way this movie was executed, because I would say overall, Bob Marley One Love is a bit of a mess in my personal opinion. To me, the best way to describe Bob Marley One Love in my personal opinion, it just felt like an event movie. And what I mean by that is that this movie follows one event of Bob Marley's life, and then they just moved on straight away with the next event without too much explaining, too much exploration. There are certain moments of Bob Marley One Love where I'm just like, I wish they could have explored that a lot more. I find that aspect very interesting, but the movie just moves on from another event. And it creates one of the most messiest editing films that I have seen this entire year, because this film has so many things happening that really slows the film down, and also just making the film feel like it's definitely all over the place. This movie also has flashbacks of events that happened in Bob Marley's life, and the flashbacks, the way this movie is edited with the flashbacks, it just felt so out of place at a lot of scenes. Like, for example, there's a random scene of Bob Marley talking to some guy, and then it flashbacks to a moment where Bob Marley meets his wife, and I'm just like, it just doesn't fit in together. You want to know a bright example of a great movie that uses a great amount of flashbacks? In my opinion, Batman Begins. It leads up to the flashback of what happened to Bruce's parents, or what happened to him when he was a kid. That movie just does flashbacks extremely well, and the way it's edited is great. Bob Marley One Live, when it comes to editing flashbacks, it just felt very messy in my personal opinion. But like I said, this movie goes from one event to that event. And I'm not gonna lie, at a couple of moments of Bob Marley One Love, I actually felt kind of bored within the movie, because I wasn't feeling as emotionally attached as I wanted to. When I watch the trailers, I'm like, this movie's going to be one of the most emotional movies of the year. And yes, there are emotional elements, but unfortunately, I just didn't feel the emotion that I wanted to. I wasn't walking out of this movie going, oh my god, this movie actually teared me up. This movie's actually emotionally heavy. Nah, it didn't do that at all. And Bob Marley's story is tragic. With the movie being from a movie that's one event to another event to another event, it just felt so messy overall, and I wasn't feeling emotionally attached to it than I wanted it to be. I want to know a lot of his story, but this movie doesn't really explain all that much of it. It's mostly just the aftermath of when he was discovered, and I wish this movie could have explained a bit more elements of Bob Marley's life, like maybe like from start to finish, basically. That's how I kind of want to see this film, and this film didn't really do that in my personal opinion. Overall, Bob Marley One Love isn't a terrible movie. I thought the performances of this movie is great, especially Lashana Lynch, and Kingsley Ben-Adir does a great job as Bob Marley, and the music is great. The look of this movie looks good. There are some really entertaining moments, but unfortunately, this movie is just a complete mess overall. This movie goes from one event without any exploration. It just goes from one event to another event, and the editing of this movie is pretty much off to the point where I find this movie kind of boring at a couple of moments. I wish this movie is better than it is. I really do love the director, but unfortunately, Bob Marley One Love felt more disappointed than I was expecting. I'm going to give Bob Marley One Love a 6. So guys, that's just my opinion of Bob Marley One Love. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below, if you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay. And also guys, let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite Bob Marley song? Any song by Bob Marley, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below, keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.